So vulnerability. Well, two things. I mean, vulnerability and, I want to talk about this thing of having a sense of self that enables you to strongly appreciate you're bringing something to the table. Because I think one of the challenges in any leadership position, and I even go to parenting as well, is the quick fix of any solution around a debate or an argument is authority. Because if I'm at a table and I'm feeling a little bit small because there's CJ there and there's this person there and there's that person there, I either have two options. I either go into the very thing you don't like, which is I cower into silence, or
you become like but I am the person here. I am the leader. I'm
the loudest. Yeah. And if leaders can I remember when we worked together and being appointed and just thinking, when we had the team, that's a very bright group of people, right? I mean, and a bright from academics and from experience.
Exactly.
So one of the things I had to say is, okay, I have experience, I have academics, but what do I bring here? What's the thing that I put on the table here? So that I know when it's CJ's turn and I know when it's somebody else's turn, and it's okay. It's okay to do that. And that's when the vulnerability kicks in, right?
Yep.
That's when geez.
It's tough.
And when you say it's a journey, it comes back to the original, discussion and question, which is leadership. You have to be working on this over time. You've got to be crafting this skill. So one of the things I really enjoyed about you is this courageous conversations. I want you to go into a little bit about courageous conversations, because courageous conversations almost sounds like we're going into a bang fight here, but it's not. It's the ability to say what needs to be said in a manner that brings people back and alive whole.
Yeah. And so I'm going to say something very controversial.
We like controversial. This is the first one, so let's go for it.
So I don't believe in democracy. So
Right.
It will sound like it's contradictory to what I'm saying. But when I'm in a leadership role, ultimately the buck stops with me.
Yep.
So I'm not going to put it to a vote. I'm really not that type of person. But because of that, I have to make sure that I've heard every person.
Yep.
Because otherwise I'm making half-baked decisions.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge we have in leadership and in organizations, right? Because you create a culture of fear, a culture of, I can't put my hand up and say, you know what, I actually made a mistake, or I forgot to share this information with you, or actually you haven't looked at it from this perspective. And when you do that, what you find is people are bringing this ego into the room.
Yeah.
They are looking at things, they don't have all the information, and it ends up in a bit of a disaster. So we've really got to be able to get to a point where we can cultivate and say, I'm comfortable that I can, in the team, show a level of vulnerability. I'm not going to come and cry, but I can come and say, Vic, we are looking into this. I know you've had experience with this. What are your thoughts, your genuine thoughts? And share my thoughts. And if you disagree, be comfortable enough to have that debate to say, but why is it that you disagree with me? So that when I go away and make a decision, I am bringing in as many perspectives as possible.
No, I mean, absolutely. So the journey of leadership is not a curriculum, one track process, right? I always, if I'm going to use an analogy, and me and analogies, they're different golf swings.
Is it? I was going to say, is it a sporting analogy?
It's a sporting
oh my
analogy.
goodness!
Of course, it's a sporting
I
analogy.
thought it was going to be soccer.
No. Actually, this one's golf.
Yeah, okay.
They're Jim Furyk had one of the weirdest golf swings ever, and Tiger Woods is one of the most classic. But they always get to the same point. So when one talks about being democratic or not democratic or whatever terminology, the terminology sort of fuds what actually is going on. One of the interesting things about, and we need to put this in context, one of the interesting things about leadership is that leadership has to come from that context. You are a CA, you are a CFO, numbers have no democracy to them. This is what it looks like, right? That's it. So, but what's essential for you in that context is that irrespective of what I am seeing here as the absolute, how do I continue to get input into the process that's here? But the absolute still remains.
It does.
Right? The number still, there's no democracy to the number. The number still stays the same, but let's have the conversation, but still we still have to deal with the number. So that's what I was trying to probably get at in terms of, so people mustn't see this as a one size fits all. Mm-hmm. You've got to contextualize it to who you are.
And I mean, I'll use that because that is my core is numbers. And I always say to people, numbers tell a story. Now, let's take a situation which we had, when we worked together, where we saw the numbers dropping quite rapidly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yes, you can start the conversation with the numbers. The numbers are dropping. But at some point, you've got to take a step back and say, but what's the root cause?
Yep.
What are the different things that are happening that are resulting in this? And that's why I always come back to it's not either or. It's actually probably a conglomeration of things. This is a word I heard on Sumizi's cooking show.
Conglomeration. Yeah, exactly.
But having said that, it really is. And as leaders, if someone's watching this and they're saying, look, I'm looking to get promoted, or I'm going to be a leader, if they think leadership is a destination, or one of the key things I'd say to them is really try and always ask yourself, and what else?
Yep.
What else is there? It's never linear. There's hardly ever anything you're dealing with that is so black and white that you can say, because of this, therefore this, and therefore the answer is easy.